welcome to Around Town with Lily. Today I'm interviewing Emily Curran, who, as you can see by the medal around her neck, was the first woman from Wakefield to finish the Boston Marathon. Hello, Emily.
Hi, Lily. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. So what was your overall time in the marathon?
It was 3:16:32.
So have you ever ran any marathons previously? If so, how did you do?
I ran 2 marathons before Boston. I ran the Marine Corps Marathon in 2015, and I got a 3:51 for a time. And then in 2016, I ran the Bay State Marathon, and I got a 3:17.
So when did you start running?
I started running a little bit before my freshman year in high school. I would run with my mom every day, and we'd try to make it around the lake, and then I ran cross country after that, and then I've been running ever since.
So what was your training process?
For the marathon, I try to do one really long run at the end of the week, usually on the weekends, and then I do a long run in the middle of the week that's a little shorter, usually like 8 to 12 miles. And then every other day I usually run about 5 to 8 miles.
That's a lot. Like I do a strength and conditioning camp, and I can barely keep up with just barely even 1 mile, so that's a lot.
It took a lot to get there.
So what was your training process during like the fall, winter, and summer?
So depending on what marathon I'm doing, the previous 2 marathons, Bay State and Marine Corps, were in the fall, so I was training most of the summer. But since Boston is in the spring, I trained most of the winter, and then the rest of the time that I'm not training, I'm usually running, but usually my daily mileage is about 5 miles, with like maybe a shorter long run of like 8 miles on the weekends. But I do run every day. I just don't run as much.
Did you run or do sports in high school or middle school?
I went to St. Joseph's Middle School, so I didn't have the opportunity to do cross country then, but I always knew I wanted to. So I trained and then started cross country freshman year of high school and did track both spring and winter, and I did that all 4 years of high school.
So I know you mentioned that you ran with your mom. So was your family a major influence?
Definitely. My mom definitely helped me grow stronger in running, and my aunt ran the Boston Marathon when I was in first grade, and I remember watching for her on TV, and ever since then I knew I wanted to run the Boston Marathon.
So are you consistently training, or do you ever have time off?
I'm always running. I'm not necessarily like training my hardest, but I'm always either running or biking. I'm pretty active.
So how do you push yourself?
So pushing myself, my major focus is trying to beat myself. I don't really worry about beating other people. I just try getting better each week or each race. So I focus on just keeping paces that I want to run in a race, or just staying determined.
So what do you like to do besides running?
I like to read. I like to cook, hang out with my friends. I like biking and hiking and stuff like that.
So what's your favorite book then?
A book that I read recently that I really enjoyed was called The Shack, and I really enjoyed that one.
So what do you eat before a race?
Before a race, I usually eat oatmeal, usually with some like honey or maple syrup in it for some quick sugars for breakdown, or I'll have some toast with peanut butter.
Were there ever times where you were like, I just can't do this, or you need to keep going?
Well, with every marathon, I definitely hit a wall around like mile 22, and it's really difficult then, but especially with this marathon's weather, I definitely was feeling a little defeated at mile 23, but I just kept pushing, and I knew I only had 3 more miles to go, so I had come that far. I couldn't stop then.
So do you think you'll keep doing marathons, or are you going to stop once you grow older and get a job?
No, I definitely still want to do marathons. I have like a long list of ones I want to do in the future, and I'm definitely planning on doing Boston again this year. So I think running is definitely something I'll carry with me as I get older.
If someone wanted to become a runner, what would you say was the most important quality for them to have emotionally or physically or just mentally?
I would definitely say determination. You need to be invested in what you're doing and try to do it the best of your ability. And some days it's hard to get out there in the heat or the cold and run, but you just need to be determined and say, this is what I want to do, so I need to do it.
So what college do you attend?
I just graduated actually in May, and I went to Seton Hall University in South Orange, New Jersey.
Yeah. So what do you plan to do after college or now?
So I graduated with a biology degree, but I decided a little late in the game that I wanted to do nursing instead. So right now I'm in the process of applying to nursing schools, but right now I work as a nursing assistant at Beth Israel.
So would you rather do running or nursing?
Hopefully both. It takes a little balancing, especially with the long shifts, but I definitely hope to do both.
Thank you for your time today. I hope to see you all next time back with Around Town with Lily.
Thank you.